Good morning, Coach Summers.
Morning. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you joining us as always. As a reminder to all the members of the media on the call, please press *1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions for head coach Tyson Summers of Georgia Southern. Coach, your thoughts before we get to any questions, your thoughts on last week's game against Ole Miss.
Well, I think our guys certainly came out and started off fast and playing well to begin with. And, again, outside of really an 8-minute period of time in the second quarter, I thought we played well. We wound up letting there be 3 touchdowns right there that we give up, and we don't play very well on the offensive side of the ball in that period of time, and that becomes a difference in the game. But I do think we played extremely hard. Certainly think we went in with a lot of confidence and felt like we would be in a position to win the game. We were kind of chasing the second possession and trying to make it a one-possession game the entire second half, it felt like, really. But, again, I thought our offensive output was much improved and drastically improved from the week before, but much improved. Our offensive line, our running backs had 2 of their better games. And I thought that Kevin Ellison really did a nice job of managing the offense through the game the way that we would like for him to. And defensively, I thought we played, really well at times. Ole Miss has got a good offense. Coach Free certainly does a fantastic job as not only the head coach but as offensive coordinator. And I thought, with the receivers and the skill guys that they had in there, I thought that we handled that well. We've got to do a better job in the run game and being able to make sure that we can get off the field on third down the way we need to. And, we had some highs and lows from the special team standpoint, had a block punt, had a nice kickoff return early, both by Malik Henry, and both really helped us out and set up scores. We were erratic at best with our punter, and we were very disappointing in our kickoff return game. But, again, overall, you walk out of the game not feeling good about a loss by any stretch of the imagination, but you do feel good about improvement being there, and I certainly think we played the game the way that it is intended to be played.
Absolutely. And going into this week's game, you take on Louisiana Lafayette on a Thursday night. What stands out to you when you look ahead at this game against the Raging Cajuns?
Well, I think, certainly Coach Hudspeth and his staff been there for a long time, have done a fantastic job. Lafayette is, always one of the best teams in our conference, and again, it's continuity and having a lot of good players. I mean, when you jump out, you see guys that can run right out the gate, on offense and defense, extremely talented at their skill positions. From an offensive standpoint, again, I think that they have a very good offensive line. I think they've got a good scheme for what they're trying to do. Again, a talented skill set with those guys, starting with the quarterback, Anthony Jennings. Elijah McGuire is a really good back, and with what they do, he is a fantastic back. I think that they have a number of receivers that can hurt you down the field, whether it's Bradley or whether it's Barnes or Riles. Any of those guys, I think, are really talented, and they're physical up front. From a defensive standpoint, the guys that jump out at you are the 2 linebackers, Peters and Lightfoot. I think both play extremely well, play with their hands, get off blocks. They understand where their fits are and how they can become an extra hat, an extra fitter in a lot of things they do. I think that Tabaris Lee and really both Miller and Dunbar, I think all 3 of those guys do a really nice job inside, play with their hands well and physical, big body guys, hard to move up front. You don't see people getting a lot of push on them. And then I think whenever you look, again, you've got 3 of the 4 returning starters back in the secondary. They make plays. They're not afraid to come up and hit you and be able to make plays on the ball, and they're a talented group on the back end. So those are the things that jump out on those 2 phases, certainly.
And, Coach, as I mentioned in the opener, this is the first ever meeting between Louisiana Lafayette and Georgia Southern. Is there any extra challenge into, as you scout the Cajuns without having seen any previous matchups of them versus Georgia Southern?
Well, I think the big thing for us is we've got to, again, I don't want to sound like coach speak. We got to worry about ourselves. Lafayette has a fantastic program. We know the history of the program and all the things that Coach Hudspeth's done while he was there. And we know that they're a program that wins, and they have players that take a lot of pride in what they do. It's an important game for us for a lot of different reasons, but we're in a situation right now where it is our first time meeting, and it is two teams that should be at the top and be contenders in the Sun Belt Conference year in and year out. So there is kind of a natural rivalry there to start with. But we've got to be able to continue to improve the way we did last week and continue to finish out our season the way that we need to.
And, Coach, dealing with the Raging Cajuns offense, what do you expect from your team defensively and having to defend against not only a mobile and very capable running back, but also a quarterback who can take off and run as well?
Well, and again, very, very similar to Kelly last week. I think the big thing is making sure that we don't let him get comfortable. If he's a guy that can stand back there in the pocket and not have to worry about there being any pressure, any movement, or any things like that, I think that he can really be deadly. Obviously, what he's able to do with his legs, scrambling ability, and his run ability when his number's called, and some of the read packages that they have, he's a very talented guy. We've got to have somebody over the top and ready to play him at all points and times, and we've got to be able to do a nice job up front of being able to be in our pass rush lanes the way that we need to. Can't get outside of those, can't have two guys on contain, and we've got to make sure that when we call our pressures that we're executing the pressures that we've called.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time this morning. Those are all the questions we have. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you all so much.
Thank you.